If you have followed my previous videos, and it's finally time for a wrenching video, not only bark beetles here. Highly suspect the turbo is leaking quite a bit of oil into the engine on the wheel loader. It's a JCB 411 HT. I have been looking at it, see what the options are for removing this turbo and fitting the new one I bought. Have spent some time trying to spray the bolts and nuts, making it easier to undo. I was hoping, not so much when it comes to it. There are three bolts holding the muffler here in place, with two brackets, one long one to like the side of the engine, uh, or back of the engine you might say, and two on the lower bracket, and space is limited. We did remove four bolts to lift up the big chrome pipe at the back. If we needed to maneuver the muffler around, that might not have been needed because it doesn't stick up very far into the chrome pipe. Started loosening the bolts holding the muffler to the brackets a little more to see that everything there was moving before going further. Had a sharp pick and did some scratches on the exposed part of the pin bolts that hold the turbo in place. Wanted to do that to see if the nuts were moving or the entire pin bolt. And there are four nuts holding it in place and two in the back you can hardly even see. I was up there with a mirror and so on trying to, but I found a 13mm wrench with the perfect bend in it that could grab the rear. I think a lot of places they unbolt the exhaust manifold to replace the turbo. I was trying to do it without that, and it is possible, but not easy. Started with the ones in the back that are harder to access, that you can hardly even see. I wanted to see if they started moving and relieve the pressure on them before starting to undo the easier to access ones. Eventually it started moving. I ran into some issue later on that one of the rear ones broke and one in the front also broke, but that didn't matter, they were getting replaced. Undid the return line from the turbo and also the oil feed line for some more access to start undoing all the nuts. A little tricky to get that one out, but not too bad. And it's very slow moving, just a tiny bit of progress each turn, and eventually the nuts come down far enough that you can't grab onto them again. It's just too close to the engine. Removed the rubber intake hose, all of it. I wanted to clean up the top of the engine also once I got this sorted, because one of the rubber boots had been leaking a tiny bit on the intake. They were replaced with these fancy blue ones that are plenty thicker than the old original units. One of the inner hard to access nuts started getting harder and harder to turn. That one eventually broke, but it didn't matter. It might have been actually easier if they would have both broken. With the inner ones as far as I could get them, because the nut got so far out it was interference with the engine. I started working on the easier to access two nuts. One came undone without breaking, the next one not so much. That one without too much of a fight broke on me. Now I could start lifting the turbo up. Realized it would be smart to start loosening the nuts holding the muffler to the turbo before going further. I think that was a 15mm required. This one started moving without too much trouble, but the others I needed to access from the other side. And they were quite well stuck also, but using an extra wrench as an extension I could get them to start moving, and I would have needed to remove the intake rubber hose anyway to have access up here. Eventually,
mål, ja.
both of them were loose that I could access from this side. And then the last nut holding the muffler to the turbo. The muffler will need to slide forward a little to get free from the pin bolts holding it towards the turbo. And in order to have any chance of doing that, we needed to loosen the bracket holding the turbo. I think I already loosened the long bracket. I removed the bolt holding it to the muffler and loosened the bolt holding that to the engine, and then it's a smaller bracket holding the bottom part of the muffler that was loosened. And we still couldn't move it far enough, so we had to remove the entire bracket. It couldn't stay attached to the muffler. But once that was done, we could slide it forward enough to get free, but it's no way to get it out of the machine because you have this round bar, kind of a brace. But it can stay here for now. We brought in a little luggage strap to hold it in place as we kept wrenching a little wooden piece and then a little breaker bar to prop in there to hold up the turbo to get access to those hard to reach nuts again, and I could keep working on them. Very slow progress, took a really long time. Luckily you don't have to see all of that, and I think this is the one that started getting harder and harder to turn that eventually broke. It had started bending a little towards the end. That made me a little worried that we were gonna run into trouble here because it didn't want to grab very well, but eventually it broke and I could get everything out. Finally, the old turbo being removed. Gasket dropped, but we have new gaskets for everything. Since I was doing some cleanup here, I've covered all the intakes and air filter connection with some rags. Did some small marks on the new pin bolts going into the turbo, just as a extra precaution they will not come undone. I did add some blue Loctite to them also, not sure if that makes a difference on parts that gets as hot as a turbo, but I figured it would be best to add a little extra precaution here. My bad, I see here that I used my green Loctite stuff that should be high strength, but how it coped with temperatures as high as a turbo, I don't know, but it's going on there. Return pipe fitting was moved from the old turbo to the new one. The new short pin bolts for attaching the turbo to the muffler was added. Cleaning was done, and as usually I spent more time doing that than it's probably worth it, but it should help out finding any potential future leaks. The surface where it mounts to the exhaust manifold was quite rough, so I brought out the sanding block and some quite fine sandpaper to clean up the roughest parts at least. Vacuum cleaner to remove any debris from the sanding. Muffler has to go in first. As I said, it's not possible to get it out, and I do not think it's possible to get it in either without removing that bracket. So we place that where it should be, and then it's time for the new turbo. And yes, we made sure to have the new gasket in place also. And then it's really tricky because you need to kind of hold it up, and as you get the nuts in the back where you cannot see anything, it's all done by feel, and you can just barely have it on your fingertips and start trying to get the thread to grab. So not very easy. I can understand why some shops prefer to just remove the exhaust manifold and all of that and replace the turbo and then put the exhaust manifold back on. And I think the process of bolting it back in place was equally slow to removing it. So I'm gonna skip ahead the whole lot. I'm not gonna show it all to you, even if most of it was recorded. Yes, we had the gasket in place for between the turbo and the muffler also, and that could be maneuvered into place. And here you can see the lower bracket holding the muffler to the engine. Cleaned up the area at least that mates to the engine. And the camera angle while reattaching that was horrible, but you can see maybe it's here and there I have a yellow plug plugging the oil feed for the turbo, because that was continuously dripping oil. Here you can barely make out that I loosened the bolt holding that upper long bracket to the top part of the muffler. That bolt was one of those external Torx things. Luckily we had them tools, because my dad's car, the brakes require that kind of tool, so they had been purchased a set at some point. Time to start tightening everything up. I will go over these bolts once the machine has had a couple of heat cycles through it. Made sure to go back and forth and get an even torque. I didn't use a torque wrench, but here you can see the tool required for that bolt holding the uppermost bracket for the muffler. Since it was getting a brand new turbo, it was also getting brand new oil, and draining the oil on this, it has this kind of drain valve with a cap on it. I needed a pair of pliers to start undoing it, but then you can just unbolt it by hand and nothing comes out. And here I have my headlamp in the way of this, but you can barely make out there. Then there is a drain hose that you screw on there, and once you screw that in, oil starts flowing, and then you just let it drain. Intake pipe with the new nice blue rubber pieces. And here I made a mistake. I started trying to connect the oil feed for the turbo, but it has to be threaded under that rod for the dump valve on the turbo. And here I'm threading it in the correct way. It was a little tricky. I should have remembered that it was tricky getting it out also, but I didn't, or I was in a little bit of a hurry to get this done. I had to try a few times before I was able to get it where it was supposed to go. But eventually it got there. New copper gaskets, copper washers were added to the banjo fittings. A syringe with a small hose on it that I checked beforehand that I could kind of feed into the banjo fitting to pre-fill even the oil line feeding the turbo was used, and I also pre-filled the turbo with oil until it was overflowing. The banjo bolts were tightened back up. Return pipe could go back into place. Rubber hose from air filter to turbo could be remounted, and now I moved the crankcase breather back to feed into that as it was originally. If you've seen my previous video, I moved that out to see if the oil consumption could be that the crankcase breather was dumping oil into the intake, but the oil coming out of the crankcase breather was very minimal, not and the consumption kept going, so it has to be something else, and we don't have not found it has no leaks that we can detect, and filling like 10 liters in less than 500 hours, it's a little bit excessive, so hopefully this turbo will cure it. Here the crankcase breather goes back into the intake. Also checked the air filter. I have a new outer one, but it's not very dusty. I might save it until the next service to replace it. The oil filter I am replacing, and as usually I might have over tightened it a tiny bit. It was just tightened by hand when it was put back on there, because I did a full service on the machine when it was first purchased. And I do not like these standing filters. I prefer hanging filters. I'm not sure why they do this, but it was probably easier somehow. But with some paper under there, and once you've let it drain for long enough, it doesn't dump a whole lot of oil. A new one can go on there quite easily, so it might not be all that bad. A little bit of brake cleaner and compressed air to get the last bit of oil. Then oil was filled. I can't remember how many liters, but 11 or 12 or something. I will monitor it quite closely as we start using the machine to see if this have cured the oil leak, as I'm hoping. Time will tell. Had tried pulling a fuse to make sure the engine wouldn't start, but got a little confused regarding the fuses. I had also pulled the electric connections on the fuel pump itself to allow you to crank it until you have built oil pressure without it actually starting. Time for a proper test start. And it seems to be no leaks, so looks good. Let's hope this solved everything. It was allowed to idle for a couple of minutes before giving it a few revs, and that's it for the first test start. I missed recording when we reinstalled that chrome cover for the exhaust that sits on top, but that's quite simple, just 4 bolts. And then checked the cold oil level after it had been started for a tiny bit, and as I said, I will look closely at it in the near future and hope it doesn't drink as much oil anymore. So thanks for watching, have a great day.